Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm in my room again. It's very early, and all the children, all my grandchildren are here, and all three of them, and we rebuilt their fort. Yes, yeah. Rosie's help was needed, and of course, I'm good at that too. I ended up all sleeping in the fort. Oh gosh. These children are so busy. It was 9 o'clock last night. Finally, I said, everybody out of my room as I'm tired. And uh, and then they came back in, and I'm going, ugh. I said, Rosie, can we just be here with you and watch something with you? 9 o'clock. All right. I said, all right. I said, I'm going to sleep. You guys watch whatever is appropriate for you. So they did, and I don't know. Suddenly they were gone. I woke up and nobody was here anymore. We were all sleeping. They're all sleeping in the fort. There it is. Yeah. So yesterday I talked about the mess, yeah, right? The physical, and on how really when it comes down to it, you want to live in a mess. That's your desire. There you go. There's absolutely nothing that could prevent you from cleaning up the mess around you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the filth, right? Yes, yeah. Well, there it is, right? So I'm going to share something that I experienced in yes, and it was a dream that I remember quite well. I mostly don't remember my dreams. I don't pay much attention to dreams, this and that. But this one stuck. Um, and there's always a reason for that. Spirit world works in their own way. So there is that. And well, in the dream, I entered this zone, and I walked through like a street. It was dark, it was dank. There's no light except for, I can't remember where the light came, maybe from, it seemed like, where people have these drums and with fires going or something, and metal drums with fires in it going. That's where some of the light seemed to be coming from. So you could distinguish at least what was going on. And it was filthy. It was filthy. And the onslaught of the desire, the lust and desires of the people that were there. There were men and women. There were no children. It was only adults. And they would congregate in certain sections, and it was, my whole system was sexually assaulted. I could tell it was like this, just wow, where am I? And it wasn't that the people's desires and lust kind of took me over or anything. I just felt, right? I felt what that was like to them, and on how particular desires, lust and desires, when it comes to the sexual realm, that weren't normal, okay, immoral, uh, out of the true realm of love, when it comes to that, they, as I said, there were all these different groups of people. There was a lot of people there, lots of people. And I just kept walking through it. Also, what I realized was that I wasn't alone. I was literally almost guided through it by someone else, some spirit. And it kept to keep walking. Don't stop. Keep walking. And I kept walking, and eventually I got to this, it was like, you could almost say, okay, it was like a block long, okay? And suddenly I had this, I've got to find the exit here. How do I get out of this? How do I get out of here? Okay. After I had realized where I am and experienced all these, whoa, gosh almighty, ugh, right? Yes. Kept on going, and I was guided towards, okay, that's the exit. You got to go that way. And I went and I found the exit and I went out and kept, I turned. I can see this so clearly. I got out of the exit and I kept turning, and there was this huge throng of people. I mean, it was just, they were all, they weren't standing in line. They were just in this group, just this huge group, and they were all pressing against something, like waiting to get in. And I'm going, well, I got to go that way. And I got there, and I suddenly am surrounded by people, and something grabbed me right here and pulled me back. Okay. No, you don't want to go there. I said, you're going to enter. That's the entrance back into this place. I was pulled back, and the pull felt so physical that I woke up. It woke me up, and I could still feel the hand pulling me back. And I realized that I found the exit, turned, and because I'd just been in this realm, it pulled me right back into the throng of people that were waiting to get in there. I realized that I visited a part of hell, if that's what one wants to call it. The thing is that the people in there, nobody acknowledged me to start with. Nobody went, oh, what are you doing here? Or tried to pull me in. It's literally, I would have been the one that would have become a part of it on my own. Nobody tried to. Yes? And and I thought, oh my God, that's where people end up with their filthy mess when it comes to the realm of love, conjugal love. And I was kind of surprised that I said they were just all standing around. I couldn't say that I saw anything physical happen because it's all spiritual, right? On how that worked for it was just the same people congregated with the same desires, unnatural desires, lust, that were congregating together as if they were feeding off of each other or something like that, right? Yes? To not let go, to not clean up. And that's it, the mess, the filth that they had accumulated in the physical, and now in the spiritual, it's just there. But there was an exit, and I have to say, did I ever really process this dream all the way? All I was given was just this look into, and on how, even if you find the exit, if there isn't someone with you, as I said, I felt like I had a guide with me, and obviously I did. Even if you find the exit, if one doesn't have someone to guide one in that realm, you go right back. You're going right back in. Because you don't know where else. You don't know. You have no idea how to clean up your mess anymore. They say that I've read that it's much easier to restore things here on earth when it comes to certain things. Yes, and to clean up the mess, also your spiritual mess, right? Then in spirit world, it's a lot harder. Right? There is a lot of importance given to ancestors and descendants. Yes, and I found that in my own experience with working with spirits, trying to help them, yes, even the ones that come off real strong and listen, that attitude ain't going to help you here, but I'm willing to help you. And no, you have no power over me. That's not going to happen, right? Yes, so either we work together on this or you can leave. amazingly enough, most spirits are surprised that oh, wait a minute, oh, and you can work with them, and they can start to clean up. So yes, help from us here on Earth to help spirits that are restoring in spirit world. Mm. Yeah, there is truth to it that once you're in hell, you will stay there. You will stay there until help comes your way. Though I don't, as I said, not in spirit world yet, so I have no idea. I mean, no idea. Don't. Uh, that was just an experience that I had, and interestingly enough, uh, people says, "Oh, there's pain in hell," and this and that. These people weren't in pain. It's just the place that they were in was just filthy. It was disgusting. It was nasty. It was it was just, and in a way they were completely oblivious to that, feeding off of each other. Mm. Anyway, so there it is. I think that again, if one would want, if one has the desire to say, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with this just odd way of on how I perceive love and true love is, and how one is influenced by others who want you to be a part of their misery in a way, and then in the okay, we know this isn't right. The conjugal love uh, between people is between a man and a woman. That is that. Oh, but there are these beautiful relationships out there between others. Okay, okay, and they're too. They're raising children and they love each other and this and yes, I get it. I get it. That's why it's so difficult. And they're happy. They're fine. They're content. And that is why it is so difficult for greater abnormalities when it comes to that. The abuse of sexual abuse of children and women, and prostitution, pornography, and all that stuff. That's why it's so difficult to get rid of that. Because again, we say, well, but, yeah. Mm. Well, anyway, I don't have all the answers to it. Definitely not going to. Again, I was can't. I'm not the judge of people. Right? Yes. Well, I said if I see any kind of sexual abuse going on with a child, this or that, or find out about it, I'm definitely going to do something. That shouldn't even be a question for anyone. But again, otherwise, if individuals consent to certain things and they're adults, then what am I going to do? But I got a good look into in spirit world on where people are going to end up. So maybe as I get older, or as I maybe understand God's path, God's ideal better, maybe there will be some more clarity that comes from there, or that I be able to give and teach and leave something behind that will help people. Or even if you have someone in the family that has passed away that you know, this was just, then know that they need your prayers. They need your guidance and they need your prayers. Yes? Anyway. Okay. So life goes on after death. It is true. Just depends on how. And the resting part of hell, well, not really. Okay, so we are in Samuel. I have no idea why I have to share this morning, but I saw something and Spirit wrote me says, "Yep, you need to retell the story." All right, there it is. People make it do with it whatever they want. Samuel 1, the first book of Samuel. 2, Song of Hannah. Hannah then prayed as follows: My heart exalts in Yahweh. In my God is my strength lifted up. My mouth derides my foes, for I rejoice in your deliverance. Ah, she's talking about foes, enemies. What did I say yesterday about that other wife and the children, the sons and the daughters who may be creating hell for her? She's trying to stay focused. It's interesting that I just told you that dream, and here in a way, why is Hannah in that position she's in? Because her husband has 2 wives, not just one, 2. And what kind of conflict, kind of a mess, filth is that creating? It's very sad. There is no holy one like Yahweh. Indeed, there is none but you, no rock like our God. Man, she must have been, oh my gosh, this just speaks of pain. Do not keep talking so proudly. Let no arrogance come from your mouth, for Yahweh is a wise God. His to weigh up deeds. The bow of the mighty has been broken, but those who were tottering are now braced with strength. The full-fed are hiring themselves out for bread, but the hungry need labor no more. The barren woman bears 7-fold, but the mother of many is left desolate. Yahweh gives death and life, brings down to Sheol, and draws up. Yahweh makes poor and rich, he humbles and also exalts. He raises the poor from the dust, he lifts the needy from the dunghill, to give them a place with princes, to assign them a seat of honor. For to Yahweh belong the pillars of the earth, and these he has poised. On these he has poised the world. He safeguards the steps of his faithful, but the wicked vanish in darkness. For human strength can win no victories. Yahweh, his enemies are shattered. The Most High thunders in the heavens. Yahweh judges the ends of the earth. He endows his king with power. He raises up the strength of his anointed. Elkanah then went home to Ramah. But the child stayed in Yahweh's service in the presence of Eli the priest. Ooh. Wow, that's really beautiful. Oh, I could say a whole lot to this now. Interesting. That's why you wanted me to tell that dream, huh? The sons of Eli. Now the sons of Eli were scoundrels. They cared nothing for Yahweh, nor for what was due to the priest from the people. Whenever anyone offered a sacrifice, the priest's servant would come with a 3-pronged fork in his hand while the meat was being cooked. He would thrust this into cauldron or pan, or dish or pot, and the priest claimed for his own whatever the fork brought up. That was how they behaved with all the Israelites who came there to Shiloh. The priest's servant would even come up before the fat had been burnt and say to the person who was making the sacrifice, "Give the priest some meat for him to roast. He will not accept boiled meat from you, only raw." Then if the person replied, "Let the fat be burned first, and then take for yourself whatever you choose," he would retort, "No, you must give it to me now, or I shall take it by force." The young men's sin was very great in Yahweh's eyes, because they treated with contempt the offering made to Yahweh. Well, then where was Eli teaching his sons? Seems like nobody stopped them. So this was what, one person? I don't know how many of the sons were there. Only talks about one particular, seems like one person here. He would retort. It doesn't say they would retort. Odd one. Huh. Okay. And again, what was my dream all about? And now we're reading this where, hey, in the open, right? Didn't even matter. And nobody stopped them, right? Yes. Yeah. Their filthy behavior. What did that teach the people too? Aren't you our priests? Aren't you supposed to guide your children as well? I mean, come on now, what is this? Right. I mean, what? Samuel, a child. Samuel was in Yahweh's service, a child wearing a linen loincloth. His mother used to make him a little coat, which she brought him each year when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. Eli would bless Elkanah and his wife and say, "May Yahweh grant you an heir by this woman in exchange for the one which she has made over to Yahweh." And it would go home. Yahweh visited Hannah. She conceived and gave birth to 3 sons and 2 daughters. Meanwhile, the child Samuel grew up in Yahweh's presence. So, there you go. Look at that, huh? Hannah really was blessed. I see. Now, I wonder on how well Samuel was being treated. It doesn't say. Maybe we don't want to know. Oh, here we go. More about the sons of Eli. Although very old, Eli heard about everything that his sons were doing to all Israel. Really? And said, "Why are you behaving as all the people say you are? No, my sons, what I hear reported by the people of Yahweh is not good. If one person sins against another, God will be the arbiter. But if he sins against Yahweh, who will intercede for him?" But they did not listen to their father's words, for Yahweh was bent on killing them. What? Meanwhile, the child Samuel went on growing in stature and in favor both with Yahweh and with people. So Eli has no power over his sons. Done. It doesn't. I hear you. What are you doing? And so what? The sons were in charge of all this? So there's nobody else there anymore from the Levites except for Eli? There weren't any other priests or this or that? They're just the sons of Eli that were doing all that. Were in charge of all that. Then the father hears about it. So he's not a part of it anymore, obviously. He hears it from other people. He doesn't see it himself. He's not there. Well, he's very old. Okay, well, still. And all he does is say, "What are you doing?" Now, remember on how the Israelites are. They're not shy people or peaceful, harmonious people. They're hell bent on killing each other, right? Yes. But here, they're letting these people, these priests, these sons of Eli just get away with whatever. Sounds like it. What an imbalance is going on here. What a mess. Nobody's cleaning it up. There's nobody there cleaning it up. What if the people were just said, "Well, we're done bringing anything until this is righted out"? You can't tell me Eli's the only family there with his sons and maybe his wife or a few wives or whatever, right? As the leftover Levites? There's got to be some more somewhere. What's going on here? Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't say. Just a story again, I guess. Another tale. And here, what? Yahweh was bent on killing them. What? Where's the blame? Who needs to take care of what? It's a weird one. Punishment foretold. A man of God came to Eli and said to him, "This is what Yahweh says. Did I not reveal myself to your father's family when they were in Egypt as slaves in Pharaoh's household? Did I not single him out of all the tribes of Israel to be my priest, to go up to my altar, to burn the offering, to carry the ephod in my presence? And did I not grant all the burnt offerings made by the Israelites to your father's family? Why do you trample on the offering and on the sacrifice which I have ordered for my dwelling, and honor your sons more than me by growing fat on the best of the offerings of Israel, my people?" Oh, interesting. So here does come someone says, "Hey, have you not been exalted enough by God? Now you're abusing God." Uh-huh. But someone else comes and tells Eli, again, have I not? So again, so it sounds to me like God's putting the responsibility at the father's feet, at Eli's feet. Why have you not taught your sons better? Why have you not removed them? Yes. Whereas this is what Yahweh, God of Israel, declares: I had promised that your family and your father's family would walk in my presence forever. Now, however, this is what Yahweh declares: nothing of the sort. Those who honor me, I honor in my turn, and those who despise me will be an object of contempt. What did I say in my dream? It's of our own choosing, our own desire and lust, who puts us where we end up in spirit world. Be sure the days are coming when I shall cut off your strength and the strength of your father's family, so that no one in your family will live to old age. Beside the dwelling you will see all the benefits that I shall confer on Israel, but no one in your family will ever live to old age. I shall keep one of you at my altar for his eyes to go blind and his soul to wither, but the bulk of your family will die by the sword. Again, is this God's doing? This is a consequence? Well, it's basically my way or the highway. Not because I make it so. It's because you make it so. You leave me no choice. I'm not going to enable you in your mess and your filth, in your disregard for what is right and honorable. Yes? It's not, God doesn't want to do that. Would never hurt one of his children. Right? When we don't obey and follow God's word, God's ideal, we hurt ourselves, just like children. Don't touch that stove. It's hot. I don't care. Right? Told you so. The hurt, the pains are, it's already there. Done. Yes? Many different other things, same way, right? What happens to, and again, if one has a relationship with God, truly understands God, truly understands God, who really understands God? You can't. If you pay attention to your surroundings, the creation, okay? Yes? The true principles of love, the true principles of creation, how things work, how they're supposed to be tended to peacefully, harmonious. Yes, with the give and take. Give and take's happening too, especially with food. Proper give and take. Right? That's why one doesn't go out and hunt for a trophy. Right? Yes? One goes and hunts for food and thanks God for the sustenance. Right? Anyway, then one also knows that God would not hurt anything. Nothing. That's not how God works. Can't have an angel and a devil deciding in the same place. Oh, but yeah, people maybe, but not God. It's not possible. But people don't want to take responsibility themselves for their own actions, this and that, right? Yes, then you got to have someone to blame. And sadly, it's either God or the devil that gets blamed, right? Well, the devil made me do it. But God struck down on them. No, it doesn't work that way. People like that, because then we don't have to look at ourselves. But when it comes down to it, we're going to have to clean up our own mess together. What happens to your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas? Oh, here we go. Will be a sign for you. It is two. I must have missed that. I forgot. On the same day, both will die. I shall raise myself a faithful priest who will do as I intend and as I desire. I shall build him an enduring house, and he will walk in the presence of my anointed forever. The members of your house who survive will come and beg him on their knees for a silver coin and a loaf of bread and say, please, give me some priestly work so that I can have a scrap of bread to eat. So I guess this is how Samuel is being, yes. It's interesting. I also talked about on how, where is the next leader here, right? God hasn't really seemed to not find anyone. Here it is. So Hannah wasn't necessarily barren for, see, that's the miracle to me. Hannah wasn't, if the story is true, Hannah wasn't barren for no reason, right? Yes, and once, it's almost as if God prepared a child, yes, but it had to be willingly offered, and then afterwards, she was barren no more, had more children, 5 of them. And the rise and fall of Eli's family, right, was in the hands of whom? We hear that the people were saying, well, hey, at least wait until the offering is done. They knew how to, the process. The common people, the regular people, not the priests and the Levites. They knew what was supposed to happen. They did this every year. Right? Hey, what are you doing? You can't have that yet. Well, if you don't give it to us, just take it by force. And then Eli hears about it from the people. Say, hey, your sons are not doing what they're supposed to do according to what we were taught on how to serve God. So, was it God that had anything to do with the rise and fall of Eli's family? Or did the people displace them? Say, no, you're done. We're not. No, maybe that's what they did. Yes? So, but God worked definitely. Again, interesting on how God worked with a child. Yes, Samuel. And most likely also on how it's a good thing that he was removed as a young child from Hannah's family. Yes? Yeah. Anyway. So there it is. That's 2 in Samuel. That was just interesting to read, I have to say. Interesting what Spirit World wanted me to share beforehand. Looks like Samuel is going to clean up the mess, then we'll see where he's going as an adult, right? Yes? Yeah. So there it is. It's another day. Yes. Cleaning up our messes. Filth. Anyway, so there it is, right? Yeah. One could say so much more to everything. It would just be the same again and again and again. I'll finish with that one. Oh, I saw a wonderful video of a couple that took in an old dog, and on no doubt the abuse that the dog went through for many, many years before the dog ended up in that couple's hands, and they took such good care of him, and he turned out to be such a lovable big guy. They shared on how, as he got older, he had more problems, had lots of problems, probably, and yet, and then at the end, was that the time had come where they had to put him down due to the pain, and he went completely blind, and to see that these wonderful stories of rescued animals. We've rescued so many animals. Oh my gosh. From, I could tell some stories, and they all ended up growing old with us. Some were just puppies, some were older, and they all ended up growing old with us on the farm. Living a happy life, yes. Just as it is with children, with animals, I don't understand how people can abuse animals. I don't. It completely eludes my understanding of any of it. I have no clue how that works in someone, that one just beats a helpless dog or puts them in such physical condition that they barely survive. I don't know how that works. I have no idea where one is in life as a person, as a human being. That one does that. Can do that. I hope Spirit World never shows me where people like that end up. I do not know. That would just break my heart. Beware what you support out there too, right? Yes, when it comes to all that. All right, okay. Another mess, another filthy mess to clean up. Oh gosh, there's so much to do, so little time. In my life, I don't believe in the end of time kind of stuff. That's not how it works either. Yes? Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today. Yeah. Eli and his family. Must pray for Eli and his family. One think that so many thousands of years ago, surely they have found their place somewhere in heaven now. Well, then it won't hurt if I pray for Eli and his sons anyway, right? Yes? So that they can restore. And if that's already happened, then surely they're now in a position as supposed leaders and guidance of God's will, God's ideal, then my prayers will be redirected in the proper way. Mm-hmm. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will talk to you another time.